am making this announcement in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, Laws of the State of New Jersey. The Borough Clerk has prepared a schedule of meetings of the governing body of the Borough of Kenilworth for the year 2025. The Borough Clerk has posted a true copy of the schedule on the bulletin board located at the front entrance of Borough Hall, and has mailed true copies of this schedule to the local source and the Star Ledger, and is maintaining a copy of the schedule in her office during the year 2025. Accordingly, the notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied in regard to this meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Karlovic.
Here.
Councilman Boyle.
Here.
Councilman Finestrella.
Here.
Councilwoman Giordano Persona is excused. Councilman Morrow.
Here.
Councilman Piper.
Here.
And Councilman Scurries.
Here.
You have quorum.
Okay. Motion to approve the minutes of February 5th, 2025, and executive session of February 5th, 2025.
Motion.
Motion made by Councilman Finestrella and seconded by Councilman Boyle. Roll call.
Councilman Boyle.
Yes.
Councilman Finestrella.
Yes.
Councilwoman Giordano Persona is excused. Councilman Morrow.
Yes.
Councilman Piper.
Yes.
Councilman Scurries.
Yes.
Okay, I have a proclamation this evening. We have members of our VFW here to accept the proclamation. The Battle of Iwo Jima, 80 years ago. Whereas the year 2025 marks the 80th anniversary of the historic Battle of Iwo Jima, a pivotal moment in World War II that exemplified the bravery, sacrifice, and determination of the United States Armed Forces. And whereas the Battle of Iwo Jima, fought from February 19th to March 26th to 1945, was a critical campaign in the Pacific Theater, leading to a decisive victory for the United States and contributing significantly to the eventual defeat of the Axis powers. And whereas on February 23rd, 1945, the iconic photograph of U.S. Marines raising the American flag atop Mount Suribachi was captured, symbolizing hope, resilience, and the unwavering spirit of our nation. This image has become a lasting tribute to the valor of the servicemen and women who fought bravely on the front lines, as well as a reminder of the sacrifices made by countless individuals and families during this tumultuous time. We honor and recognize the courage of all American servicemen and women who have served our country at home and abroad, assuring our freedoms and protecting our way of life. And whereas it is fitting and proper that we take the opportunity to reflect on the lessons of history, to express our gratitude to those who serve, and to reaffirm our commitment to supporting our veterans and active duty military personnel. Now therefore, I, Linda Karlovich, Mayor of the Borough of Kenilworth, on behalf of the Borough Council, do hereby proclaim February 25th, 2025 as the 80th anniversary of the Battle of Iwo Jima in the Borough of Kenilworth, and encourage all residents to reflect on the significance of this historic event, honor the sacrifices of our veterans. In witness hereof, I, Mayor Linda Karlovich, hereunto signed my name officially and caused the seal of the Borough of Kenilworth to be affixed this 19th day of February 2025.
On behalf of the VFW Post 2230 and the Kenilworth Veterans Center, we want to thank the mayor and the council for observing this very special day. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Now we have one on the other side. Okay, I'd like to move on to the finance report.
Thank you, Mayor.
Councilman.
I'm going to take the mic here for a second to thank you for the proclamation. My grandfather fought in that war, was at Iwo
thank
Jima,
you.
and I think this story for a lot of Kenilworth families, when you were an Italian-American fighting in World War II, they sent you to the Pacific, and there's a lot of famous New Jerseyans that went there, and we celebrate their lives and their stories. So thank you for doing that.
Absolutely.
It really means a lot, I think, to the Italian-Americans in town to honor this day.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. For the finance report, we do have an update from the New Jersey Property Tax Relief agencies from the state. They've taken their programs, the Senior Freeze, the Anchor Program, and the New Jersey Stay New Jersey for Senior Homeowners Program, and combined all programs into applying through one application. So that's a nice thing. All three programs can be applied for at once. So if you're interested, there is information, and maybe, Laura, we can get it up on the town website. Ken has a flyer that we can get up there.
Absolutely.
So I'll forward that to you after the meeting today. In regard to the Finance Committee in town, we did meet last Thursday with our CFO and our Borough Administrator. We discussed the health of certain items that we know will be in focus as we're working on the budget. Some of the things that we're going to be monitoring included the evolving conversations that department heads are having with the CFO on their own budget requests. We've got overall costs for things like healthcare and inflationary pressures on other general goods and services that we're expecting to have to really take a look at this year. We're also monitoring the state aid that will be coming from Trenton, and I know that Ken will be like a hawk watching the governor's budget speech, which will be live on February 25th at 3 p.m. The Finance Department and the committee, we're going to be busy working on the budget over the next few weeks. The budget needs to be introduced by the end of March or by the first meeting immediately after March 31st, which for us in town is April 2nd. So you're going to see a lot from us coming pretty quickly on that topic. So that's it for now, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Department of Public Works, Councilman Boyle.
Thank you. The DPW collected and disposed 237 tons of municipal solid waste for a cost of $18,137. They collected 33 tons of recycling for a cost of $3,430. Collected and transported 40 yards of mixed vegetation for a cost of $940. The DPW mailed the 2025 Public Works Information Guide to all Kenilworth homes during the holidays, containing all updates and changes to DPW services from prior years. The information guide is posted on the Kenilworth website for the convenience of Kenilworth residents. Spare copies are also available at the tax office and the DPW office. The borough received a comprehensive report on the sewer system inspection conducted on February 3rd. Our licensed operator from Central Jersey Pump mentioned that this was the best report he has seen in his line of work. We will continue to strive for excellence and full compliance in the years to come. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman. Department of Public Safety, Councilman Finestrella.
Thank you, Mayor. In conversations with the police chief earlier, we did discuss that as was mentioned in the last council meeting, we are going to put up some permanent radar signs at the west end of the boulevard, which would hopefully deter some speeding. Alongside of that, we do have units out there chasing aggressive drivers and checking to make sure trucks aren't driving on the wrong routes of the borough. Snow removal is, I guess, we've been lucky this year, but we've had a couple of bouts of 2 inches or more. So basically, in a nutshell, if you don't know what you need to do, if it's snowing, park on the even side. Once the outside's cleared, then you can park on the outside so that the even side can be cleared. We just want the town to cooperate, and we need to get some emergency vehicles down the block, and if we can't get the streets plowed, it's not gonna be good. So that's pretty much it. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Planning and Zoning, Councilman Scarice.
Thank you, Mayor. Some things that I don't know if we mentioned last time, you noticed by the Allen J. and Erie property, they knocked the building down supposedly. They're subdividing. They just supposedly they want just a parking lot at this point. The other building next to it's supposed to remain. But there is a subdivision of the lot there. Last planning board meeting, Onyx, or also known as Nest, we approved the subdivision, so they broke it. Basically, the front half is going to like around 30 acres, and the back remaining is like 70. There was questions about the access and all that, but basically, they're still going to be allowed to come in the main entrance and all of that at this point. There's not going to be any permanent barriers. I helped encourage that we didn't want them, they needed something else from the planning board. We're going to have a special meeting on the 27th, because we don't want to hold them up. We need to get that developed as quickly as possible, so I was very happy the board will accommodate. And I don't know if it's a proclamation, they needed something, and we didn't have it ready that night. So we're going to keep that moving along. It was the biggest news, and I don't have any totals of that. I'll have that for next meeting. That's all I have to report.
Thank you, Councilman. Recreation and Fire, Councilman Piper.
Thank you, Mayor. It's been a quiet couple weeks, but with rec, the basketball season is nearing the end. The playoffs are about to begin on March 3rd. And again, to reiterate, the middle school sports tryouts and registrations will be posted soon. Flyers will be sent out through the school. Emails will be sent through Community Pass, and the information will be posted on the website and Facebook page. And the Eagle Scout project has begun on the rear storage room. And that's all I have this week.
Thank you, Councilman. Health, Education, and Welfare, Councilwoman Giordano Paserno is not present. Does anyone have a report? Okay. Borough Engineer,
He's not in, he's
he's on vacation, I think, right? In the Caribbean,
I believe so.
with sand and beach. Okay, Borough CFO.
Must be nice.
Thank you, Mayor. As
Thank you.
Finance Chairman Morrow had mentioned, the governor's speech is next week, so we're listening to that. We really haven't been hearing much about state aid, so it's a little concerning because the programs that state wants to give the refunds for, we understand that the state is not doing well, so they're going to need to fund that some way, and we're hoping it's not coming from municipal aid. So we will keep an eye on that. And as he also mentioned, I will be meeting with several of the department heads to discuss their individual departments' budgets to report back to the committee. So next 6 weeks will be a little crazy, but we'll get it done. That's all I have.
Thank you. Borough Attorney.
No report this evening.
Okay, thank you. Borough Administrator.
We do have two resolutions on this evening for the borough to join with two different cooperative purchasing systems. One is for a purchase the police department needs to take care of for the radar sign. The other is to, we can try to expedite the pavilion install over at Demario with the grant money. We have a liquor license transfer. Sorry to say that Boulevard 572 is leaving us.
Yep.
But we are gaining Sinner's Steakhouse. If anybody's familiar, has heard of them before, there is
Yeah,
one
Point Pleasant.
currently in Point Pleasant. And let's see, we went out for RFPs for the fireworks. Only one submitted, the other two declined. We have the street fair closure on here, and that is it for that. The only other thing I have, Mayor, is for executive session, so we'll require an executive session.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask a question on the purchasing agreements? I noticed that they're pretty open-ended. Which is the one for the police radar sign? Is that the buy board?
No, the Morris County Cooperative.
Okay, that's the one I had the question on with the itemized list at the end of what they had there. I don't think I picked up on radar signs, but what are we getting out of this? It's a $1,200 registration fee to be a part of this. Is it to make a one-time purchase?
It's actually going to be, they're going to prorate it for us, so it's a little bit less than that. But there is we have utilized that co-op before.
Yes, we have. It's just, we haven't used it for a while, but we have in the past used that for a while. There's several co-ops throughout the state that we belong to. That one just has got by the wayside for a little bit, but now that we need it again, it's always right back up.
Okay, so are we getting out of these when we're not using them? Do we know that? I mean, let's do a little
The fee is
Department of
basically an
Government Efficiency.
administrative fee for them to do all the legwork, work that we might not be able to get done or done as quickly. They have a bigger group of people, so the prices usually help offset the cost.
So the one-time purchase, is it worth joining this group for $1,200? Is that our savings? I mean, I'm gonna equate this to, I'm gonna join Costco to buy a thing of peanut butter and
I
never
would
go
say
back.
yes,
Yeah?
because it opens up to several different things. The fire department can probably use it, and it's not just the police department. Joining a co-op gives the borough an opportunity to use certain vendors and specific services from that group. So
It's expenses with
We have gotten public works stuff out of there in the past, so.
Yeah, I can see the itemized list of what they sell. It is pretty extensive, and it is very much, even DPW, antifreeze and stone, things like that. So what,
We used them last year, 2 years ago for the furnace at the firehouse.
Okay.
And it saved us about $10,000.
that's what I want to hear. That's it.
That's part of our part. I
Okay.
understand it looks like an expenditure, a big expenditure. for-
Not that big, $1,200, right? I
Yes,
mean,
but I can do, because right now we're looking at the one purchase of the radar thing, but that opens up for every other department in the borough, like you said.
yeah, you see even
It
gas.
also saves us a ton of our own work with
Yeah.
respect to security.
Administratively?
Right.
Yes.
No, no, no.
Administratively,
This is all, and that's actually a very important point to make about these co-ops. They have their own competitive processes. So they just don't award contracts willy-nilly. So everything that's on their list has already went through a vetting process, and that's why we're allowed to piggyback on top.
Okay, that's great. So we save administrative costs and you having to write up the bids and have them all reviewed and.
You save on the cost.
Okay, that's great. And the buy board, what are we getting from them? Is this another co-op to join?
That is another co-op, there is no membership fee for that one. And that one is for the installation of the playground over at the Marriott. Not the
This one,
playground, I'm
the-
sorry.
The gazebo.
The
Okay.
gazebo.
Okay, so we're buying the gazebo from them, is what we'd expect.
Yeah, we're gonna get it through them, but it's coming from Kids Rec Trust monies.
Okay, thank you for answering my question. Sounds like a good thing for us. Thanks, Paul.
Okay, is that all? That all?
So the next for council consideration is the consent agenda consisting of resolutions 25-80 through 25-88.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion?
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Morrow, seconded by Councilman Scarice. Roll call?
Resolutions 25-80 through 25-88 have been approved by one motion. All items will be recorded individually in full in the minutes. Councilman Boyle?
Yes.
Councilman Finestrella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Giordano Persona is excused. Councilman Morrow?
Yes.
Councilman Piper?
Yes.
Councilman Scarice?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay.
Next for council consideration is the ordinance. For introduction, 2025-01, ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 57 Alcoholic Beverages, Section 4 fees.
Okay, the purpose of this ordinance is to set the fees for liquor licenses within the borough. Distribution and consumption licenses are capped at $2,500 by the state of New Jersey. Is there a motion to approve the ordinance on introduction?
Motion?
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Morrow, seconded by Councilman Scarice. Roll call?
Councilman Boyle?
Yes.
Councilman Finestrella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Giordano Persona is excused. Councilman Morrow?
Yes.
Councilman Piper?
Yes.
And Councilman Scarice.
Yes.
Public hearing and adoption of this ordinance will be scheduled for March 19th of 2025.
Okay, is there a motion to open the floor for the public?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Scarice, seconded by Councilman Boyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Does anyone have anything to say for the good and well-being of the borough? Please come forward and state your name and address.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Council members, and members of the community. My name is Ayatu Ravi, and I am a junior at David Burbank High School. I am currently identified as a disabled person with Down syndrome. I would like to support and an idea to the mayor and council members to encourage inclusion for people with disabilities in our town. My vision is to organize a natural diversity flag raising event celebration of natural diversity that helps to build a closer, more inclusive community.
Thank you, Arya. I'm Monica Tiwari. We are a resident of Kenilworth. We live at 297 Lincoln Drive, Kenilworth. And just to add, I'm Arya's mom, by the way, just to add a little bit more to what Arya is proposing. I would like to briefly provide the rationale and purpose for this neurodivergent flag raising event. The neurodivergent flag raising event aims to celebrate neurodiversity, recognizing and honoring the contributions of neurodivergent individuals. It promotes inclusion and acceptance, encouraging understanding, reducing stigma, and fostering a sense of belonging for disabled individuals in our town community. It aims at educating the public and raising awareness and acceptance about neurodiversity and the importance of inclusion. And lastly, among many other positive implications, it strengthens community bonds. It creates an opportunity for residents, businesses, and local leaders to come together in support of disability rights and inclusion. To provide some event details, we are envisioning this as a public event at Town Hall or another central location where the neurodivergent pride flag will be raised. Organize speeches and presentations by neurodivergent individuals, disability advocates, and allies and community leaders. Encourage community participation by inviting local schools, organizations, and businesses to show their support. And if possible, to include some optional activities such as educational booths, performances, or art displays celebrating neurodiversity. This event will send a powerful message that our town values neurodiversity and inclusion. By embracing neurodivergence, we create a more supportive and welcoming environment for all residents. Many of the towns in New Jersey, for example, Roselle, Elizabeth, Port Amboy, Jersey City, have already hosted this kind of an event. We request the town council's support to make this event a success and kindly ask for approving the event and flag raising ceremony. Providing a public space for the event, example town hall, flagpole, or the high school, maybe. Promoting the event through official town communication channels, encouraging local businesses, schools, and community groups to participate. Are you going to the end? Yeah.
By organizing a neurodivergent flag raising event, we take a step toward making a more inclusive community. We appreciate your time and look forward to working together to make this vision a reality. Thank you for all support.
And sincerely, we are a Tiwari family here, but in your printouts that I've given you, we jointly proposed this with many other families of the town. Just some of them to whom we have spoken to, and there are many families over here that identify as having, children with disabilities are here to support this, neurodiversity flag raising event. We appreciate your time and consideration to this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's a wonderful idea.
Great.
Yep.
And Aria, we've been watching you in the Tap Into articles and everything. You're famous around here. So thanks for coming up.
Thank you so much. Love you all. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Mayor, if they want to leave their contact information with me, I can touch base. I believe Neurodivergent Awareness Month is in April.
Okay, so we can do this in April, would be perfect, gives us a month to, can we just get your contact information? You have it? We have it, okay. I should know that. Okay, anyone else have anything to say?
Can I raise this up?
You sure can if you can. I think, there you go.
Good evening, everybody. And Laura, since I haven't seen you, welcome back. It's great to see you. I'm Charlie Oliva. I reside at 135 South Michigan Avenue, right here in town. And I'm here tonight just to support Aria
that's great.
and what she wants to do. Just great family, and I think you all agree, she's an amazing young lady. And actually, all of the special needs children and young adults in our town are amazing in their own way. I think the thing that impresses me most about them is they don't know how to hate. They don't know how to hate. We should all be as lucky.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Amen.
Thank you, Tom.
Anyone else?
Hi, Joey Grimaldi, 34 North 14th Street. I'm gonna take us in a whole different vibe and direction. I was at the Board of Education meeting, I guess it was Monday, and I asked the Board of Ed, how come Brearley doesn't have a rifle and pistol team? And I believe it was the superintendent, he had said that there's a New Jersey state law against having any firearms on any school properties up and down the whole state. All right, and I kind of ran out of time. But anyhow, so what my whole thing is, I would like to see pistol and rifle shooting teams back in high schools. Whether they have the firearms on property or not, maybe there could be public-private partnerships with whatever local ranges are willing to work with the high schools, and maybe have the students that sign up for the team go to whatever local range and learn how to shoot safely, and then learn how to shoot in competition. And also maybe they could work with whatever local police departments are willing to, join in on it. And the shooting sports are very cool. There's a lot of, I don't shoot competitively, but anyhow, it takes discipline and training and patience and doing all of this. And if you teach the students that a gun is a tool for recreation and self-defense, and not something to take out your misplaced aggressions out on your fellow students, maybe things would turn around. And also, we have to make the next generation proficient in firearms. For the police department, whether the police use their firearms a lot or a little bit, for the military, to protect our country, so many other reasons. But to have the shooting sports and teach the kids the discipline and the temperament and training to do that, I think that would be a great thing. And I'm probably out of time as it is, but,
Thank you.
and if any of the council members want to take this magazine, it's a newsletter. It's put out by the ANJRPC, Association of New Jersey Rifle and Pistol Clubs, and there's a lot of information about the shooting sports and also the 2A community and the rights and stuff. So if anyone wants to take it, they can. If they don't, that's fine, and I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Anyone else? Okay, seeing no one, I'd like a motion to close the floor for public discussion.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Scarice, seconded by Councilman Morrow. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, just some general business. The Kenilworth Historical Society has a request for soups on for March 20th, 2025. Everyone in favor? Sounds good to me, right?
Senior centers
The senior center.
Yeah.
And also, there's the 2025 townwide garage sale. Usually that's in October. We don't have a date for that yet, but that's coming.
Mayor, that usually gets
Thursday.
scheduled prior to the bulk pickup date.
Right,
So we usually coordinate that with Shirley.
right, right. Okay, just wanted to make sure everyone was aware of those requests. Okay, the borough has determined it is necessary to,
For good of the public kind of stuff, I'd like to talk a little bit about the bulk as we're talking about it. There seems to have
Okay.
been word last year and years prior of 8 toilets being out in front of homes and types of materials that are prohibited from being thrown out and collected through the bulk. So
Yeah.
I think that as a council, we might need to talk a little bit more about this.
isn't there something in the ordinance that the pile can't be
Yes,
more
there is.
than, so maybe enforcement of that?
We hire these outside companies to come in, I don't think they're reading.
They
the
don't
ordinance.
know, and they're
They
just-
pick up 8 toilet bowls and put them in the truck, and we pay the tonnage.
Does it make sense prior to the pickup to have maybe our code enforcement take a little ride through town, and if they notice something excessive, go knock on the door? I think that might help.
I agree with you. We might have to do something with the timeframes of how long they have to respond to the notice. You're gonna put your bulk out on
Right.
Friday, and then they come up on Monday to pick it up. You might be in the area of, I didn't have to respond to your notice.
Is there a way, Mark, that we could do that without, so they have, obviously, this isn't a situation where we have the time to say, you know, you have X amount of time to fix this problem? Could a,
Exactly.
okay, so it's, the bulk pickup is, we have an ordinance that a certain amount of bulk pickup can be put out.
Right.
And there's people that are not abiding by that. So there's people that, even you can probably tell, not just their bulk, but bulk of all their friends and neighbors and other communities, and the whole front of their lawn is filled with debris. So obviously, that's not put out right before bulk pickup. So we could have our code enforcer go around. However, it would be an immediate, like, knock on the door and say, this has to be removed now. Can we do that?
Yeah, a notice of violation,
Just a notice of violation,
Yeah.
and it has to be remedied, okay.
We're gonna go by weight, or?
There can't be a time frame because it could be put out the morning of bulk, right?
There's no weight limit.
Yeah, it could be put out tomorrow. We won't catch that. I
Right.
mean, we could drive around, you see.
One guy's not gonna be able to catch
You're
the whole
describing
town. It's not-
6
it's just not-
dumpsters worth on your lawn.
Right.
That's not bulk pickup.
No, it's
That's-
not.
That's commercial waste.
And, you know, I think if you want, we can, in our meetings, actually just address that. I mean, maybe you can put it in your report, Pat, just to remind people that that's what bulk pickup is. It's not for, you can't clean your whole house out, or your friends and
I have to
relatives.
familiarize myself with the ordinance. I don't know like how it restricts it. Is it by volume or is it by the size of the pieces?
I think it's the size, but then also there's restrictions on things like construction materials and other
Right.
itemized pieces that we do see out. So it is an enforcement thing, I
Yeah,
think,
it's
right, Mayor?
some contractor.
It really comes down to that.
And I think for many years, I've seen people put construction material out, and I think it's been picked up. I think you're right. The debris company comes, they don't know, they're just hauling off whatever's there. So I think the program is being a little bit abused.
and I noticed a lot of people put out way before. Technically, the townwide garage sale is Saturday and Sunday, and you're supposed to put out Sunday night for people that had a garage
Put it
sale.
out for shoppers.
Yeah, just, so
Right.
people putting out Friday, Saturday, the whole weekend.
Now, you kind of need a week, depending on what you got.
Well,
Depending on weather,
Just come
no,
and
you
take
need-
the tonnage, and we don't pay the tonnage.
Right. I mean, as long as it's the weekend, I think the problem is when it's put out way early. I saw many residents put out up to a week early, and then the town looks like a junkyard
We
for
have
a
lot
long
of
time.
people going through the garbage, it's a constant complaint at the police department for people going through the garbage. Listen, we know the more that they take, it's less for us to pay, but we do insist, when we do see them, to be considerate of the people they're taking it from, don't leave stuff that.
Right, some of them make a mess.
Right, some,
The problem is that they'll take what they want, but when they move the stuff off the top and throw it in, in the middle of your yard, it stays there, they don't put it back neatly.
We try to enforce that, we do have, we do push for that. That's one of our biggest issues, when, as you had said, if it's out for a week early, we get the call, so they're going through my garbage at 7 in the morning, or 9 o'clock at night, and it becomes a nuisance, and I agree with that.
This is how I lost my recycling bin. Seriously, someone was out for recycling and someone took it like it was.
someone took my portable basketball net.
Right.
They scrapped them out of the pole, they left the base.
Right, exactly. All right, so I think we can work on that.
Craig,
It's good to start the conversation now and early.
we have another option, and I know, I don't remember exactly what Toyota with it, I know other towns have it. Seven is massive, once a year thing. Like just doing a couple pieces, maybe a month or so, like other towns do. Would that be more cost effective? And definitely would cut down on this, you wouldn't be able to abuse it so much.
The problem gonna be is finding a contractor who's gonna wanna come out.
Why can't we take care of it?
Or once a week, once a week would be more beneficial for a contractor, but I've been having a conversation with our own contractor about that, and he says, I'm not gonna do once a month.
Why can't we just
I wanna
take
do
it?
Once or twice a year.
Ourselves. If it's that small amount, we could probably handle it ourselves.
Other towns also have quantities, like regardless of size, 4, 5, 10 items.
Yeah, we
Say
could,
that.
we could say one per month or two, three.
Right. If you
That'd be
guys,
perfect.
there's many different options you guys can go through, that'll take too long to discuss tonight. But, if you're gonna restrict volume, you're better off doing it by number of pieces rather than the size of the pile, or the weight of the
That's what I'm
pile.
saying. I know in Union, where my grandfather was, there was a number of pieces, and they had things they would take,
What are the number of pieces?
I think every Monday they do 3. I
It
mean,
was
I don't know if
4
we,
union, and it couldn't be larger than 4 feet or something like that.
I mean, they would take bulk items, like it was an old cabinet or something, but you only allowed 3 pieces. So you couldn't put a mass, like, you have a construction project, the contractors, they could hold on to their junk that long. And it'd be more targeted, I think, for residents, which the true is what it's targeted for, not for someone, like you said, bring in, fill up your entire front yard with stuff, because it's one massive bulk. I don't even know, it might be more cost effective instead of hiring an outside vendor, paying them 60, 80 grand, we could, like I said, do it ourselves.
I mean, I'm happy to discuss out those options at a committee meeting, where we can
Okay.
spend an hour or two discussing it. if we
Yeah,
have to.
something to think about.
Or more than one committee meeting. But yeah, there's a lot of options out there, it's just what you're willing to agree to on behalf of the residents. It's most cost effective getting everyone.
And the
Personally,
manpower.
I'd rather have a few, I mean, so I don't have to hold on to my garbage
Yeah,
for
I'm
6
with you. It's
months.
almost like,
I don't have big enough property where I can.
What are these alternatives to bulk? I mean, we do it once or twice a year, what could we do a little more frequently?
Yeah,
I know
bring them in.
everybody was upset about the one bulk last year, and what else is there? It doesn't have to be the same hammer we hit the nail with. So, Mr. Boyle, would you be willing to have the committee meet and talk about some
Yeah.
alternatives? That's a great idea, Greg.
Yeah.
I'm sure you got a lot of ideas.
I have a lot of ideas that I approached with Angela about last year, and she mentioned to me, she says, in the new year, the committee meeting is the best way to approach it. So I've been holding on to it until the right
Great.
time for us to approach that situation.
Is there any way to get to find out how the people in the town feel as a majority?
I'm sure they'd love extra bulk.
Yeah.
Facebook will love it.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, I'll find out. I think they would like it. I mean, I think the biggest complaint about once a year is that you gotta hang on to your garbage for all these months. I gotta look at it, I gotta, where am I putting this couch? It's been sitting here 8 months. Critters might be living in it, or it might be more sanitary too, everybody keeping their garbage around. Especially if it's cost effective, I like the idea myself. But we'll let Greg use his expertise, he knows, maybe he's got some better ideas, but.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 different ideas we can toss around.
Yeah, especially if you're saving money,
Yeah.
that's a win, it's a win-win.
Cheap ideas.
Cheap ideas. Cost effective.
Then training.
Like recycling.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you,
Greg.
everyone. Does anyone have any more before we go into executive session they wanted to discuss?
I'd just like to mention, follow up what Bill was saying about Iwo Jima. My grandfather had served there, not in Iwo Jima, but in the Pacific. I think you're right, I think they just sent all the Italians over there. We did have a relative killed there, and anyone that's a Marine would know John Basilone. He's actually from Raritan. It was my grandfather's cousin. My grandmother was from Raritan. They lived here. Most of their life, when they moved out here. So I always knew that story, and then eventually I learned what it was. It was his stories in the Pacific, an HBO series. He did a bunch of people's stories, and he was in that one. So, yeah, Iwo Jima was significant in many respects.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. At this time, the Borough Council has determined it is necessary to move into executive session. Can I have a motion to enter executive session?
Motion, second.
Motion made by Councilman Morrow, seconded by Councilman Boyle? No? Finestrella? All in favor? Aye. Thank you, everyone.